Chuco Tango 915. Today we're going to talk about a very notorious, one of the biggest notorious gangs in Texas, the Pachuco Tangos. You know what I'm saying? From Texas, a Mexican-American gang that started in El Paso, Texas, somewhere after the 90s, after the Famas were already established. The Fama is short for Familia. That's what we call the old school prison families, like the Mexican Mafia, Texas Syndicate, Barrio Azteca, PRM, TCB, Texas Chicano Brothers, Partido Revolucionario Mexicano. All of them are old school prison families that we know already about. But today I'm going to tell you about the Tangos. Tango stands for town, city. But nowadays the youngsters, they started giving it more meaning to each letter and word. They give a word to each letter. It's an acronym now. They say it stands for Together Against Negative Gang Organizations, or Texas Against Notorious Gang Oppression. But yeah, make sure y'all also tap on the like, subscribe before we even continue. Player 16, this is the channel where I'm gonna lace you guys up about prison life and why you don't want to go there. All the youngsters, make sure you guys focus on what's important: your wife, your kids, your parents, your family. I'm right here in Playa del Carmen. I'm just chilling, you know what I'm saying? That's my past. 16 stands for prison, my past, the P. But now it stands for progress, positivity, Playa 16. But yeah, the Chuco Tangos is definitely a gang that I know much of, because when I was in prison, I met a lot of these guys, and they were hand to hand, always willing to hook a brother up with some soups and some food. I didn't make no commissary when I was in the penitentiary. My family was in Mexico. My mom was in Mexico. I didn't have nobody to send me no money, nobody to visit me while I did my 2-year sentence. But I did all right, as you can see. And I discharged. But it was all for tampering with government record. I'm going to talk about that later. I'm going to get into that later. But the Chuco Tangos, they use the 915 numbers. That's the area code of the El Paso, Texas. But they use that on their tattoos. They also use the star that's on the mountain, on the skyline, on their tattoos, the star with the circle. They use EPT, which stands for El Paso, Texas, or it can also stand for El Paso Tango, whatever. A lot of them are esquinas for the Barrio Azteca, though, and we'll talk about that later. A lot of them don't really see themselves as tangos. They really haven't declared independence, a lot of them, from the Barrio Azteca yet. They see themselves as part of the Barrio Azteca, the VA, the big old school prison family from Mexico. Started in El Paso, moved into Juarez in the Mexican penitentiaries or whatever. We're not gonna get into all of that right now. We're just gonna talk about why it's bad to go to prison. You see these things nowadays, and people going to prison for all the dumbest things. Nowadays, it's tangos against famas when it comes to the raza. Youngsters in there playing gay games, stealing from each other, extorting. You know what I mean? You don't want to go in there. You want to stay out of there and do the best you can. But yeah, that's the Chuco Tangos. That's about it. I guess the Pachuco style started in El Paso. That's what some people say. I'm not from El Paso. I've been locked up there in the annex in the Cemento. But somebody from there can comment and let me know. Let these people know really what's going on. I've been there, but I'm not from there, so. But yeah, Player 16, like and subscribe. Click on the bell button for notifications. You get notified, comment, and share. Salute.